Bonsoir, hypnobabies. It's Tansy here, your hypnotherapist from London Village, welcoming you to a gorgeous evening sleep story set in the beautiful French Alps. Now, I'm a big admirer of French culture, and this is one where I recall a lovely holiday in Annecy, and it's a guided sleep meditation for detachment from overthinking. And we will be embarking on a snowy train trip through the French Alps where you can delight in the majestic scenery and detach from anxious thoughts peacefully and calmly. And if you love snowy scenery, fresh pine forests, the delight of a dining car on a luxurious train, then this will be beautiful to soothe you into a peaceful slumber. And I work with many clients who have anxiety in my daily hypnotherapy practice. And I myself have had anxiety for perhaps 20 years. But I'm glad to say, although it occasionally flares, it doesn't distress me anymore. And I've done a lot of work on it. And I've also been fortunate enough to have had a lot of therapy myself. The wounded healer, I think it's known as. So if you're listening to this and you too have anxiety, I feel you. Please keep going to find the toolkit that helps you. And I hope this recording is a small part of what contributes to you feeling better and getting some distance on unhelpful thinking patterns, sending hugs and positive vibes to you. And I'm also sending love out to my darling subscribers around the world. Give me a like if you enjoy this recording, please. And I would also like to give a gracious thank you to my wonderful Patreons. Please accept my deepest gratitude for your generosity, and new to the Patreon community we have: Amanda, Christopher, Catherine, David, and Dee Dee. Welcome, you absolute stars. And if you listen a lot and would be kind enough to support me for a few dollars or pounds per month, get earlier access to recordings as well as exclusive content, please see the link below. And with all of that out of the way, you can relax. So for now, you can allow yourself to settle. Be at ease as night draws in. As you welcome the deep embrace of the darkness and the glittering stars above you, as you lie in your cozy bed, you are safe. And I am here for you. To guide you into a deeply restful state. So make yourself really comfortable now. Feel the support from underneath you and take some nice deep breaths in the pattern of 4, 4, 6. In for 4, hold for 4, and out for 6. Go ahead and do that now. That's good. And again, in for 4, hold for 4, and out for 6. That's good. Now presently you can return your breath now to a normal, natural breathing pattern once again. A lovely way to relax the nervous system. That's good. And since you're feeling a little more at ease, I'd like you to imagine that you are standing at the top of a set of stone steps that lead down to a lakeside veranda. See yourself now standing at the top of those stone steps. See the expression on your face, relaxed. There is a handrail to support you, and as I count you down from 10 to 1, you will fall deeply into a restful state of hypnosis. No one can make you go down into hypnosis if you don't want to, but I know that you do want to fall into a deeply restful state. So 10, stepping down and down. 9, the more you let go and submit to the experience, the better you feel. 8, stepping downwards. 7, deeply comfortable, deeply relaxed. 6, 5, ever onwards. 4, gently downwards. 3, sinking deeper and deeper. 2, almost at the bottom now. And 1, all the way down to that deeper, healthier level of the mind. And as you step off the bottom step, you can begin to let go of the everyday world as you move deeper into your imagination, falling freer, falling deeper now with every word I speak. And as you step off those last steps, you see a comfortable looking chair overlooking the beautiful Tansy lake. And Tansy was nicknamed the Pearl of the French Alps in Raoul Blanchard's monograph, describing its location between the lake and the mountains. Tansy is the largest city in the Haute-Savoie department in southeastern France. The lake itself is vast, and the city lies on the northern tip, 35 kilometers south of Geneva, Switzerland. The water is crystal clear and you look out across this perfect mirror as the surrounding mountains are reflected back down. As you look across, you can see deep green pine forests around the borders of this lake. And as you admire the scenery, you have a sense of freedom as you gaze across this calm body of water. The weather is fine, and the warm autumn sun shines on your skin. But you sense there is colder weather to come. And you are about to go on a journey, and you couldn't be happier. You've been looking forward to some luxury, and a kind friend has booked you on the Mountain Express. Comfortable and soothing experience where you can really move away from stresses and strains and embrace inner peace. And as if by magic, you are transported to a quaint train station at the foot of the mountains, just outside the city of Annecy. The air is fresh and clean, and you can smell the scent of pine in the air. In the distance between the mountains, you can see the velvet green meadows, the occasional isolated pine tree that looks like a Christmas tree waiting to be decorated. And then you admire the mountains raising up on all sides, rocky in the lower levels and snow-covered at the tops. The soft snow almost looks like it's been iced. The mountains are so high that you imagine it would be an amazing challenge for a bird to fly above them. You can see a kestrel circling above the train station, as if looking for a little animal down below. Usually the days are bright here in Annecy. The snow over the top gleaming brightly white. And now, coming into November, the days are rapidly growing shorter. All the hotels in Annecy have wood-burning stoves lit, the pine logs crackling away, and strings of lights that decorate the restaurant terraces looks so pretty. And sometimes a mist moves over during the day, covering Annecy like a white veil. You wonder if there will be snow falling in the mountains as the train climbs. Maybe a cool breeze. The train waiting in the station is a large green steam train with many ornately decorated carriages, old-fashioned and beautifully kept, gleaming. A truly beautiful sight. The steam rushing up into the air and then falling down onto the platform, preparing to leave and take you on the most beautiful journey. After a little while, you hear a call to board the Mountain Express, and a gentleman smartly dressed welcomes you on the train and asks you to please take your seats. You board the carriage in which you've booked a seat. It's very luxuriously decorated. The seats are broad and very comfortable. They are velvet, deep red, and there is in front of each one a small table with a green glass lamp. On the floor is soft carpet. There are pictures on the wall, beautiful gilt frames. Little curtains line the windows of dark blue. The carriage has a Victorian feel. And every tiny detail is immaculately designed. Pure luxury. As you sit back in your seat, get cozy, you know you're going to really enjoy this experience. And you open the window a little to let in some cool alpine air. You know the steam train is ready to depart, as there is a gentle rumbling, and the train's powerful engines have been switched on. A moment later, the train takes its leave of the station and begins the journey. Passing over a large viaduct, high above, you can see down to beautiful rivers and fields beyond. The grass is so green, and it appears to be a place of fairy tale innocence. From a distance, the houses look like toys, small and distant, little fluffy white specks of sheep are so small as you travel on the rhythm of the train, sitting further back in your seat. You're so happy just to watch this beautiful scenery pass by. And it's lovely to take a journey, to get some distance. And most of the time, human beings are deeply caught or tangled in their thoughts, and it can feel most inevitable that we get carried away by them. And it's a good time to reflect on the fact that sometimes there's lots of different thoughts coming and going. Our mind goes over things, races around, and follows the direction of these thoughts. You may even have noticed that there is one particular thought or related thoughts that stay and stay in our minds. It's almost like Groundhog Day, as it gets trapped in that one set of thoughts for hours, days or weeks. This can be challenging, but you see this now as if from a distance, and as the carriage passes by the beautiful landscape, you can almost imagine that the objects passing by are like your thoughts, sometimes helpful, sometimes not so, sometimes repetitive. But simply conceiving of them as outside of you, separate to you, is in itself comforting, as you are beginning to create space on the unhelpful thinking patterns, just as you are creating space between yourself and the landscape as you travel on the moving train. And as you move on further, you see the huge mountains rising above, dark blue-black in colour. The tops of the outcrops are crowned with white. And you also see a flowing river to the left, running rapidly, much faster than the train. You open the window a little and you look at some leaves that are on that river and the rattle of the stones rolling in the water. The train is now starting to move downwards along the path of the flowing river. The leaves are moving too, moving on. You can see one leaf goes underneath the water. It's swirled around and then comes back up again. And sometimes it can be helpful to think of our thoughts like leaves on the river, flowing down the current. Sometimes we can get caught up in that current, dragged along like the leaves and the twigs on the side. And it can be helpful to think of our thoughts like those leaves, separate to us, flowing, moving on, moving away, passing, transient. Because thoughts and emotions are transient. Some can be unhelpful. Seeing them as an observer from a distant point from your cosy train carriage. You can see those thoughts, not part of you. And soon they will be out of sight, gone in the flow of the bubbling brook. And many people describe as being totally caught up in their thoughts, as if we actually are our thoughts, and that is all there is to us. And the phenomenon is called fusion. And it can be helpful to think of a concept called diffusion. And this means undoing the fusion, unpicking the fusion. And Hayes and Smith in 2005 say that diffusion leads to peace of mind. This is not because the mental war necessarily stops, because you are not living inside the war zone. Because as we diffuse, we step back from the thoughts. We just let them come and go. Watch from a distance. Just imagine that. Like the leaves on a stream outside your beautiful train. And I have heard this referred to as watching your thinking. Looking at thoughts rather than from thoughts. Noticing thoughts rather than being caught up in thoughts. Letting thoughts come and go rather than holding on to them. And holding on to them can sometimes be like jumping into that river. As your body pushes against the water, holds you stuck. But instead, just holding back from jumping in and engaging. Because what we resist persists. So we notice them. And we watch them, let them flow on as the train rolls on. You're feeling deeply relaxed as it glides through another mythical valley. Moving down into the beautiful green valley, you can see animals gently grazing in the fields, the soft white of the sheep gently nibbling the grass. They look up briefly, notice the train. They are not startled, and they bow their heads once again to continue their meal. The train glides by, passing a lovely broad pond, the gliding swans, their white feathers, orange beaks, and the black distinctive markings on their face, moving gently onwards, peaceful and calm. And then once again the train is descending through more mountains, strong mechanisms on the tracks, sturdy, beautifully designed, strong and steady, emerging from another tunnel. Towards a sleepy village, cocooned in green meadows and the scent of drifting wood smoke and deep green pine trees. And it's interesting to know that we can use different metaphors to help describe the process of watching our thoughts and the relationship with thoughts. And sometimes people think about it like clouds floating in the sky. You look up and see those fluffy white clouds drifting on like a thought, moving onwards, letting go, dissipating into the Earth's atmosphere as you move forward, letting go, releasing, relaxing. And many wise people talk of holding on to thoughts lightly compared to clutching onto them tightly. And you can just visualize in your mind holding the thought lightly. No clutching. It's not necessary, because the true nature of thoughts, they are nothing more or less than words, pictures created by the mental static. And other people like to think about thoughts in terms of workability, perhaps how helpful they are, rather than literality, which means how true they are. So next time you hold a troublesome thought lightly in your grasp, you might ask yourself, how helpful is it? Instead of how true. And the train moves on along a high bridge, approaching another tunnel now. And a beautiful viaduct, gracefully curved and very high. Travelling further on, you make your way through a rocky gorge. A huge ancient town comes closer. A tall church spire covered in white from the recent snowfalls. In fact, the whole town has been carpeted in the pure white snow. As if dusted from above, the softest of snowflakes falling through the sky. And as you look out of the window, you can see those snowflakes. The sky is dove grey and promises deep snowfall. Softly touching everything in a deep blanket as it falls quietly, peacefully. Snowflakes swirl about as very gradually the world becomes whiter. The silence is palpable, and you feel deep peace, tranquility. It's interesting to think about what your mind is telling you. Ask yourself, thoughts are in my head at the moment. What does your thinking self have to say about that? Gently noticing what your mind is doing. You might ask yourself, is that a helpful thought? If I grasp that thought tightly, does it help me deal with the situation effectively? And a wise person once asked me, if you go with that thought, Tansy, and let it tell you what to do, is that going to get you a good result? The answer was no. So when the mid-thinking mind tells us that you can't possibly do this, or you must do that, ask yourself, do those thoughts help you move towards the goals that you've set for yourself? In between the flurries of snow, you can make out a lake, rippling water. Looking out over the expanse helps you to get some distance on your anxiety. Having that space and time to actually notice how fused or diffused you are from your thoughts. You are finding that as time progresses, you are less caught up in your thoughts, that they are not dominating your view in the same way. Letting go, being able to see the situation from another perspective. Train gently moves past the lake. You can see little sailing boats moored on the side, covered in snow. They look as though they're sleeping by the water's edge, in hibernation for winter, as the snow swirls on. It's so calming watching the snow drift down and cover everything. But it's time for your evening meal, and you move towards the dining car. Beautifully laid out table for a light meal is there waiting for you. Just perfect. You eat and have a nice drink. Watch the world go by in total luxury. You're feeling deeply relaxed now and truly enjoying this wonderful trip. Feeling sleepier now, sleepier and sleepier. You see that the sky is darkening as the sun sets. The moon is beginning to rise, and the stars are coming out like diamonds in the sky. The rays of the moon shine on the white fields as night falls. All is calm and quiet, apart from the rhythmic noise of the train. The lights are dimmed in the dining car, and you enjoy a warm drink before bed. It soothes you as you sip on the lovely warm drink, and gently you arise from the table and move towards your bedroom compartment for sleep. Your bedroom compartment is spacious, luxuriously decorated. As you open the door, you are greeted with the most cozy cabin you've ever seen. Lovely soft bed, pillows just the way you like them. Beautiful, clean, fresh sheets and covers on the bed. You draw the curtains, gently change into your night clothes, close the door, wash your face, brush your hair, and peacefully prepare for bed. Pulling back the covers, your body remembers how beautiful it feels to climb into the softness and embrace of your soft bed. The bed is so comfortable, and you snuggle in. The gentle rocking motion of the train is so deeply relaxing. You've had a wonderful trip, and you're looking forward to the most beautiful night's sleep. Feeling peaceful, calm, feeling so much happier now. You can begin to diffuse yourself from unhelpful thinking patterns, putting distance, a lighter touch on those thoughts that come and go like the leaves on the street. All the clouds overhead as you drift down and down into the most amazing, relaxing, and deeply healing sleep. As I count you down from 10 to 1, you will feel even more relaxed than you can ever remember. 10, down and down. 9, deeply peaceful. 8, letting go into sleep. 7, the more you give in to this experience, the better you feel. 6, drifting and dreaming with my words. 5, easy rest, easy peace. 4, let go, you are safe. 3, 2, and